Welcome to Mrugashira, a podcast that communicates with communicators. Is brought to you in association with Digitales. I'm Radha Radhakrishnan. Let's begin.
He says, meaningful and purposeful career is about adaptability versus rigidity. Our guest today needs no introduction. I'm in conversation with Abhijit Bhaduri, founder and CEO, Abhijit Bhaduri Associates, and a certified independent director and leadership and personal branding coach. Let's begin. Hi Abhijit, welcome to Mrugashira. Thanks for taking time out to do this chat with me. I wanted to start off, about this entire focus on opting for generalists than specialists, in our sector. Increasingly, we are seeing this, and specialization is not something that people prefer these days. So I just wanted to ask you, what has changed, and is it something like a fad that just goes away with time, or is it something that's here to stay?
Thank you very much, first of all, Radha, for having me here. It's so nice of you to think of me. One of the things that I would like to sort of really talk about is that we are going to live in a hybrid world, and you will find that along the continuum, it's going to be a continuum. So you'll never find that there is just one answer to a question, that it's always going to be, somewhere on that spectrum. So, for example, if you think about work from home versus being in the office, which is better, which is where the world will be, you will find that it's going to be a longer spectrum. Some people will entirely switch to, work from home. Some will entirely move to back in the office, and some will sort of, have that in between. So this is also the place where, in terms of the skill continuum, this is where you will see. So specialist versus generalist. However, I think there are a couple of things to keep in mind. One is, when you think about generalists, you are, what is the advantage? Which is that, they are able to move from one element to the other. Yeah. So I guess instead of looking at it from a specialist versus generalist lens, I would actually think about it from the lens of, adaptability versus rigidity. And when you look at that, that also means that, even if you are a specialist, the ability to work across many different contexts really makes you really in demand in the market. So if you are let's say if you're a marketing person or a PR person, having done a certain kind of work, you understand digital, you also understand the brand management, then you understand analytics and how do you create all of that, and you potentially also understand the implications of a certain kind of a marketing choice from the point of view of B2B, B2C. So you're really looking, so the field is really the same. So the way to think about, if you take a more meta view, you are really looking at the generalist part of it. So, in general, you're a communications person. From a specialist lens, if you look at it, then you are looking at, let's say I'm a digital marketer versus, let's say I'm a social media influencer. It's pretty much the same at a broader level. The contexts are different.
Yeah, so, you brought in this aspect of, adaptability versus rigidity, right? So does that also in a way make somebody not deeply focused, somebody who is more like a rolling stone?
No, that's not true. That, you really have to have a deep skill. And the reason why I kind of always will be in favor of building that deep skill, which can be applied in multiple contexts, is the way I would sort of look at it. So when you think about the context, that you got to keep changing because that will be there. But you bring in a specialist kind of a lens to look at it. And in general, when the economies, are slower, that is when you are actually looking at, having a greater demand for specialists. I mean, if you really had to bring in one person who's going to, fix, let's say, a surgery, in the case where there is very little time left, you are not going to go for somebody who can do dentistry as well as this and that. I mean, you're really going to go for the one who really knows how to fix that particular problem. Then the bigger the crisis, the more you are looking for a person who solved that kind of a problem. When there are opportunities which are galore, then you also are willing to take chances with other skills. So it sort of moves along that spectrum.
Yeah, so, in our industry specifically, for example, there was no social media as rampant as it is today, or social influencers were not there a couple of years ago. So there's so many things that are evolving in this industry. So how do you develop deep skill in a quick point of time?
So I think today the ability to build your skills in any of these areas becomes infinitely easier, because you're looking at people. You can learn from three different models of learning. One is education, which is that you do a quick course. I mean, there are courses galore which are available for free, or paid ones which are available online. So you can sort of do that. The second is that you sort of have exposure to multiple people and multiple schools of thought. Today, even that is possible, that you can actually look at many different people and follow their work. You can follow the person's work on different social platforms. So whether it's Twitter, Instagram, blogs, YouTube, etc. I mean, you can really follow a person's journey through different things. So that is, so that was first was education, then is exposure, and the third is experience. Then you can start your own platform, you can create your own blogs, you can run your own website, you can have your LinkedIn or Twitter following. All of that enables you to practice what you've picked up. So it's a combination of these three that makes it possible for people to pick up the skills early enough. And if you follow trends and signals, you will see, yes, of course, there will be times when it'll be something that will fade away, fritter away. There are, of course, fads. But by and large, if you have been following trends, you will follow a scenario where, people, you come in prepared. As the wave and the acceptance of that particular model increases, you find yourself better prepared to respond to that.
Yeah, so one of the things I think we also face in our industry, Abhijit, is the last point you were talking about in terms of education, exposure, and experience.
Experience.
Right? Yeah, the last part of it. Sometimes, when somebody wants to make this switch, let's say from being a corporate communication professional into a digital marketer or a social media marketer, right? The switch becomes difficult because, the person is not getting hired. There's no prior experience. So it sort of gets into some kind of a chicken and egg kind of a situation. How does one come out of that?
So when you look at, if there is one field which has sort of undergone dramatic change, I would say it is the media. You have multiple platforms, from social platforms to, there's print and, corporate communication and social media, B2B, B2C. So there have been a number of nuanced views of, the bigger umbrella, if I were to look at it, the communication professionals.
Yeah.
So then those platforms have changed, but at the same time, if you look at it, I mean, social media has been there for, blogging. I remember starting a blog, if I remember right. I mean, the first blog I did was in 2005.
Yeah.
So between then and now, it's been 16 years. So the situation is that when people, drag their feet, when something is in the early stages, you are missing out on an opportunity to learn different things. Yes, it is quite possible that, what you are picking up may or may not sort of translate into the mainstream trend. But then that's the whole point, that, you are building your adaptability to the different scenarios. So those who were able to, ride the wave from the early days, they also learn to make their mistakes and they build their skills. And, at that point of time, it is a much smaller group that you are working with. And, so it's that much easier to build your position in that particular platform. Because after all, nobody, before the digital medium happened, there was nothing called digital marketing. But as these different things have come in, there are traditional marketing people or communications people who adapted to that over the years. So then it's become easier. But then there is a very large set of, people, journalists and communication professionals who have been reluctant to sort of bring in those elements, and for a variety of reasons, and sometimes rightly so. But they have been slower to adapt. And then there comes a point of time when everybody looks for that particular skill. So then at that point of time, as the market for that skill improves, the talent supply improves, then people are less, ready to take chances with you. But in the early stages, people will take chances with you because there is nobody who's trained and skilled and qualified and certified. But today, there are enough people who can be made available, through a certification. So actually, I would argue that if you have the experience, getting that certification means you are once again, getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You have your experience in the traditional media, and now you're also sort of learning, because once any change becomes mainstream, one sign of that is that you will get loads and loads of places where you can get certified, certification programs. So then that's a time then, it means that there is enough supply which is going to be there. So that's a warning sign. If you are not able to get that certification for yourself, then it could limit your possibilities.
One of the things, in recent times that is seeing a significant change is the content industry, in the sense that people are increasingly using artificial intelligence. Like there is a book where one entire chapter is, I think, written by the AI, tool as such. So sometimes there is also the fear of, getting pretty much like becoming redundant, right? Or becoming, almost like robots replacing humans, right? Kind of a situation. So how does one counter that? How do you protect yourself? Because here the churn is much faster, in 2 years, 3 years time, I guess in the digital and online space, things are evolving and changing. Newer technologies are coming and, newer things are coming.
Yeah. When you look at any of the fields, I mean, anything which has automation, if you are sort of looking at it, things which are, let's say, rule-based things. So if there is a predictable way of doing something, then automation is going to be ahead of human beings any which way that you look at it. So, one of the articles I had written was called that citiest, faultiest, fortiest jobs are going to go away.
Yeah.
So anything which is faster, higher, stronger, machines are faster, they can sort of lift more than us, so they can take something higher, and stronger obviously in terms of what they can do. So if in anything, if it is doing something with speed, machines can do it. If it's a question of looking at 50,000 sources and gathering a particular word and sort of looking at that, machines are going to be better at doing that. However, if you sort of really find that what is it that human beings have an inherent advantage, is that human beings can understand the context much better. They are able to understand the human needs better, the exceptions to the rule. So, for example, not everybody who stays in a particular, PIN code or zip code, depending on what you use, speaks the same language. I mean, so, the moment you understand that, the human beings have an advantage, but that's a place where machines have a disadvantage, because it's very hard to explain why, something will not work, out there. So machines are good at doing things which are, broad scale, mass scale. Everybody, so if you had to do that kind of a mass communication, think about mail merge. Mail merge actually uses the same format, the same content, and makes it, instead of my name, it'll put your name and say, Radha, here is to inform you, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But if you look at what do we value, we actually value the human ability to engage with us. the ability to create that relationship. So those are uniquely human skills. And if you build that combination into your own workspace, whatever field that might be, from human resources to media, communication, journalism, whichever way you look at it, this is going to be, at least for the visible future, 2 decades or 3 decades, certainly it is going to remain with us. So a certain kind of skill will go away, but then there is a vast area that has left. So I guess this whole model of I did something and now I'm going to become redundant, it only means that you have to be able to figure out a way to do upgrade yourself periodically, one way or the other. So I don't think we have a choice in that aspect.
I have one last question, which is around, you have seen the sector from as close as it can get, right? And what's your advice or suggestion to both employers and employees, as we are going through a lot of churn, particularly in the last 1 year, on the media front, on the way the brands are communicating. There's been a sea change. So what's your advice or suggestion to both employers and employees?
So I think if when you look at both the employers and the employees, the ability to invest in growing the people is a tremendous investment to make. Not necessarily because it's don't look at it as an act of charity, but it's a great way to create new business models. After all, each of these new business models that have come up, and in the midst of every one of these changes, massive changes that you're thinking about, there have been businesses which have been super successful. So if you really look at that, being able to go out on a limb, make that investment, create that human talent, that really works well for both the employer and the employee. So I think when you see this whole thing of a business model becoming redundant, it's bad for the employer, but it's also bad for the employee, because then there is one less place for that person to be employed. Having said that, I think the whole notion of an individual requiring an organization to be the middle person before you reach a consumer or the person who's going to pay for your skills, that is becoming more redundant over a span of time. It'll fade away. Again, as I said, it's not going to, it's not like organizations will disappear. They won't. They'll be there.
Correct.
But this whole notion that all of us are necessarily going to, you finish your education and look for employment, I think that mindset is something that is going to change over time, because you will see more and more people reaching directly, which is, if you look at something like Substack, I mean, there are enough number of journalists who've moved away, who've taken their audience with them, and who are actually able to do really well from the point of view of, earning revenues out of that.
Correct.
And they're, in fact, many of them are doing better than what they were being paid, let's say, as employees. So the possibilities are there. Now, it means investing in your brand. It means writing more consistently. It means connecting with people. There's a whole lot of human skill. It is not just about being invisible and writing a very powerful piece in the newspaper one day. It is much more than that. It is about, writing is just one part of it, which, as I said, can be, taken over by the machine. But this whole business of connecting with the reader, being able to actually build the community, being able to sort of share ideas, receive those ideas, engage in a two-way communication. These are human skills. No machine is ever going to be able to do that. So then this is the advantage that people have to work with. And then if you are doing that, I mean, there are opportunities going to be there for you always.
Cool. Thanks, Abhijit. Thanks for making time. And it's a great pleasure to have had you on Mrigashira.
Hope you enjoy listening to Mrigashira, a podcast for communication folks. Do share your suggestions and feedback on mrigashira@digitales.co.in. Have a great week ahead, and do not forget to tune in next week. Adios.